Friends, family, fans, episode 98. Happy Valhalladays to you all out there. Got the straw hat on. We got the southern shirt. Looks like it's white, but it's actually teal with white stripes. Got the beard on. I even got thought about getting a straw because we're down in Kentucky this weekend. We're going to have a good old time down there. So let's see what our boys can get up to. Hoping for got a few outrights. We're going to try to get through the winner circle. And I don't know if I like that accent at all. So congratulations to all of you who have made it onto the show. This is Back 9 Bets, episode 98. Happy Valhalladays. Code PGA at rotoballer.com saves you 30% off. We've got a 30% off discount versus 10% off now. So code Maniac not working for you this week. You're going to get 10%. Use code PGA and get yourself 30. You can use it to get my model, which is in the description below. You can use it to get Spencer's models. You can use it to get Spencer's picks. You can use it to get my picks. You can use it to get Tour Picks' picks. You can use it to get Tour Picks' Market Movers article. You can get Joe Nicely stuff. You can get into our Discord. You can get our optimizer. You can get our research station. You can get all of our cool models that are at rotoballer.com. Use code PGA for 30% off. What's up, Darbo? What's up, Joanne? I see you can't even spell my name right while you're insulting me, so you need to get that figured out. But yes, Butterfish Byron. I'm not no Butterfish. Kenny's the Butterfish butt boy. So we'll chat about Butterfish Jordan a little bit later here. But we got the Phoebe cam, we got my cam, we got Cameron Smith cam. It's all going on at the PGA Championship this fine Tuesday evening, wherever we may find you. The Butterfish story was terrifying, and in a lineup of random people, I would have been Kenny is the one dude that did it. So for those of you that don't know what we were referring to, go watch Fantasy Golf Degenerates show on the Mayo Media Network. Also, once you're done with that show, go over to the Rotoballer PGA show, which I did last night with Spencer and Keith. That was a lot of fun. We had too much fun hanging out with Keith. We did it for an hour 40. So let's dive into the model. By now, we've already discussed everything. I've got 2 research streams out there, Sunday and Monday night. Done the Rotoballer PGA show with Spencer. I've done the Fantasy Golf Degenerates with Kenny. I did the play-by-play with Pat. So that's all out there. We're going to be going over bets that we are making this week. So basically, we're looking for bombers, good long iron players, good track record in majors, and then they just need to check the boxes for us here in this kind of a setup here. We've got this raw edge column right over here. I could probably make that bold. That would be a fun little way to make things easier to see. And this is what we're using. So usually what I do is this column here in the green is the last 12 months worth of rolling records. You know, you've got your top 40s, your made cuts, your T20s, T10s, all that stuff. That's in the blue. In the green. In the white, we've got major percentages for finishes. We've got major top 10s, top 20s, top 5s, all that stuff. So we'll be using that as our situation over here to kind of figure out where we're going. Scotty Scheffler checks out, baby. He checks out at the top of the board, number 1 in the model. We're not betting him. We've been betting this guy top 5. We've been betting him top 10. And I've always preached that the best bet you make is the one. Sometimes the best bet is the one you don't make. With Scotty Scheffler, you know, like we're only going to double our money. It's not going to be like we're going to go crazy. For a top 5, you got to be betting at plus 105, plus 100. So it's not like you're going to be losing out tons. You're just going to be losing out on your average unit that we've been making off Scotty Scheffler the last little while. 75% of his starts have been top 5s. 85% of them have been top 10s in regular season. In majors, he's finishing inside the top 10 63% of the time. It's minus 180 for Scotty to be inside the top 10. If we change that to minus 180 for a top 10, we get an edge that is 7%. If we go to the top 5 market instead, we get an edge that's 4%. Interesting. So we technically should have been going to the top 10 market. That's actually what I'm going to put in here just because why not? But we're not going to chat about Scotty for too much longer. We're chatting about our guys. And we're going to chat about Brooks freaking Koepka. I don't know if I say it right. Brooksy is our guy. He's 16-1 out there. We dived in on him. When you take a look at what Brooks Koepka's gone up to the last little while, take a quick peek here. So now Scotty Scheffler, folks, he's having one of the craziest runs in majors you'll ever see. He's finishing inside the top 5 at a 38% clip. Brooks Koepka is finishing inside the top 5 42% of the time. Inside the top 10, 54% of the time. That's only 8% more. And then an additional 4 more percent to get inside the top 20 at 58%. So basically, bet the guy top 5. He's plus 333 when we were looking at this stuff on Sunday night. I believe some of the odds have drifted slightly. But by the way, DraftKings, FanDuel, and Bet365 and BetMGM are all doing placement markets now with ties paid in full. Let me stress that to you one more time. Ties paid in full at BetMGM, Bet365, FanDuel, and DraftKings. That's where you can find yourselves ties paid in full. The magic rule for ties paid in full, times the first 2 digits of the ties paid in full bet by 3, and then you add that to your bet that you're going to get dead heat exposed to. So for instance, I'll pull up my screen here, show you real quick. We can put it up. I'm not gonna. Just know that times it by 3, add that to your better odds so that you know that I've messed it all up. I'll explain it later. Brooks Koepka, though. Look at this. Top 5s, he's winning you money. I know it's not a lot of sample size for him, but it's okay. We do know in the majors since 2017, he's finishing inside the top 5 42% of the time. Plus 333 implies a 23% edge, a 23% implied probability. He's doing it 12% of the time. So we're going to be betting Brooks as well as winning for a T5 as well. Plus 333. If you're looking for Brooksy, go get that right now. So that's where you want to be going with Brooks Koepka. Top 5 bet, plus 333. I'm going to pull up the Bet365 odds here right now, just to make sure that some of these aren't going way out of control, because, you still want to make sure that you're betting the right number, but I'm assuming a few of them have gone down. We got some really nice numbers on Sunday night while we were doing this research stream. And it kind of reminded me of the good old times when I was not doing tons of content and just waiting for odds to drop and pouncing on them the moment that happened. So Brooks right now is plus 280 for a top 5. That's quite a significant drop, but I think the edge will still be there. Yeah, there's still a 9% edge. So the odds suck a little bit less, but I would still bet the 280. So that's where you're going with Brooks Koepka. We're going to a guy that's won 8. He's finished top 2 in 8 of his last several majors since 2017. Because I want to also just show you quickly what you can find over at rotorball.com. If you use code PGA, I'm going to pull up my model that I've been using for research purposes and that you can find yourself. We'll also throw out a little trivia at about halfway through the show once I see a bit more comments in the freaking comment section. Yeah, we got Mike in the house. What's up, Big Mike? Good to see you. Keith's mind is still obliterated. Oh yeah, shame. Poor Keith, man. I tried to call him. I called him old on the show last night by accident. Tough scenes for me, but hey, it is what it is. I'm pulling up my Google sheet real quick, and then I'm going to show it to you guys because, this is what you want to do if you're looking for. I've got all sorts of fun stuff in here for you guys. Let me hide this banner real quick so that I can show everything. It's not showing this screen. It's not showing the website. It's showing share screen, share entire window, share entire screen. There we go. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Boom. Okay, so what you can find over here in my model, I'm also going to take away this banner quickly so you can see all the different tabs. Where are you? Over here. Cool. So you can see, here's the cheat sheet down here. You can see all the different times they've finished a certain number. Scotty's got 2 wins. John Rahm's got 2. Brooks has got 4. Brooks has got 4 top 2s, 2 top 4s, 2 6th place finishes, a 7th, and that's it. 1 top 20. So this dude has got 13 top 10s in his 24 starts in majors. There was a period of time he was injured. There was a period in time when he just didn't give a shit. He's back to playing good golf. He just won on live. We're expecting him to throw up at the PGA Championship. If you take a look at what this guy's been up to, if I'm just using a power rating based off of all of these metrics, he gets to 90 points, which you're going to be timesing wins by 10. You're going to be timesing second place finishes by 7.5, third place finishes by 5, fourth 4.5, fifth 4, that kind of thing. So we just decreasing the amount you reward a person for a specific finish. Brooks gets himself all the way to 90 points. It's ridiculous since 2017 how well he's played. If you take a look at the historical major finishes, you can pull this up right over here. I've been researching a few guys. Surprised to see Sepp Straka. We'll chat about him here shortly. But this is what you can find over at the model. You're just going to type in Brooksy. Boom over here. Click there. Go okay. And just like that, we're going to have Brooks. Now you can see his PGA Championship track record. First, second, first. 4 wins in the last 6 years for Brooks. We've got, 4 second place finishes. Keith on the show last night mentioned Brooks has won his 2 US Opens and he won his 2 PGA Championships back to back. So he won the PGA Championship in 2018, 2019. Guess what? He won last year, 2023. This year is 2024. We should see a Brooks Koepka show up again to win this damn thing. The US Open, won it over in 2018. I'm assuming he would have won the 2017 one too. So lots of fun stuff to see here. You can see all the different points that these guys have scored in the different majors over the years. You can see their average major DFS points scored. You can see the number of majors they played in. You can see PGA plus US Open points scored. It's fun stuff over here. You can see the major betting side of things. So if you really want to see who's thrived since 2021 in the betting market, you can really just do that as well. You just pop a quick little filter on here. And let's see who's won the most, who's lost the most in majors over the last 3 years and a major. I know it's Justin Thomas because I've been taking a look at this. Look at Joaquin Niemann. He's been overpriced in majors for the last 3 years. He's lost you almost $1,000 across all the different markets. Top 20s, Joaquin's only got 1, so this is what you're looking at. Oh, hey, hi, Sam Burns. Sam Burns also almost lost you $1,000. Dustin Johnson, Tony Finau, Patrick Cantley, all would have lost you over $800 if you're looking to bet to win $100 per bet in every single major. So that's what the situation going on there. We've got Caddy calling me Bryson. I've just watched your other show. Does it change anything now with Scotty being a dad? I don't. And Rory filing for divorce. The Rory filing for divorce is a very perplexing situation. He filed for it on Monday, right after he won at Quail. He will likely have to address this. It's not a good distraction to have. I know a lot of people are saying, you're best off without your wife. He's just won another tournament. He's going into a PGA Championship. I'm not entirely sure what to make of Rory. So I don't know. I've never been divorced. I can imagine he's feeling good and feeling like, like a bad boy right now. We'll see. I don't know. I would imagine I wanted to bet Rory top 10, but after this, I'm not. I'm leaving him alone. Scotty's regular caddy not on the bag. That is partially correct. It's also he's only going to be missing on Saturday. He'll be there Friday, Thursday, Sunday. Don't know why I know that. I just do. So sign me up for everything, Scotty. Okay, buddy. Let's see what's going on. But yeah, so this is what's going on over here. You can see all of this stuff. You've got the scorecard over here. We've got majors, different strokes gained in all the different majors if you're looking for that kind of stuff. So it's out here. You can find it. You can use it. We've got finishing positions before a person's won a major, their best finish in a major prior to that. So tons of fun stuff. Please use PGA if you're not a premium subscriber over at rollerball.com. Let's get back to business over here. So that's Brooksy. We kind of use that to kind of get Brooks in the mix. we are going to be moving on to our next guy. Brooks is going to win his 5th PGA Championship. His 5th PGA Championship? Yeah. Or his 4th? 5th? I don't know. He's won 5. So, whatever. He's going to win another one. We just know that. At 16-1, that's too good to pass up. When you've got Scotty at 4, I mean, he's quadruple what Scotty is. And he's got more majors than Scotty. He just won one last year. Just finished second at another one. Like, this is what Brooks does. So if he can handle this golf course, we're in shape. If he can handle this golf course, we're in shape. Let's move on down to the board here. Our next guy is going to be 33-1, big beefcake Bryson. He is 33-1. We've got a each way for him. We've got a top 5 for him. We've got a top 10 for him. So Bryson outright for 33-1. Bryson top 5 for 6-1. And Bryson top 10 for 3.2-1, plus 320. So we've got those numbers. Currently, those Bryson numbers are plus 250 and plus 500. So they've dropped a little bit since, but still rather palatable. If you take a look at what Bryson DeChambeau's been up to, if you take a peek at his major track record, we've got 21% of the time finishing inside the top 10, which is not too shabby. And I would imagine that the majority of that stuff is coming at the US Open and the PGA Championship. Because the first time Bryson finished inside the top 10 at Augusta was likely last week. Last time they played. Let's pull up historical major finishes for Bryson DeChambeau and see what his situation is, because I think Bryson has obviously thrived at these other venues. US Opens, PGA Championships, that's where he likely gets his job done. A fourth in the last 2 of his 3. Obviously never played in 2022 for some reason, must have been injured. So we've got all of these great finishes for Bryson. In 2020, he finished 4th and then won the US Open at Winged Foot after finishing 4th at the PGA Championship. So he's got an Open top 10 as well, and then a first Masters top 10. I feel like he's going to have a lot of confidence coming into the week, having played well at the Augusta for the first time in a very long time. Prior to that, we had like a 38th, a 29th, a 34th, a 46th, a miscut, and then he finally finished 6th at Augusta. So he's moving in the right direction, it seems. We've got that 4th place finish at Oak Hill last year. It's a perfectly tailored golf course once again for Bryson. I think this golf course suits his game exceptionally well. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can party. I mean, if you want to call me Byron or Bryson, either's fine, as long as you stick to one, and then I become that person. I'm already Byron. I'll be Bryson. I don't mind being Bryson, actually. But let's stick with him being a top 10 bet for us instead of me being Bryson. And we're going to bet in top 10, top 5, and to win this tournament. I feel like this golf course was made in heaven for him. He's a beef stick. He's going to mash it out there, rip it out the rough, and just keep going and going. He's going to overpower this golf course like hardly anybody else in the field can. The PGA Tour is struggling to, if you just show up and don't work on your distance, you're in trouble. So Bryson's got that. He's one of the longest golfers in the field. Let's see what he can do. 33-1, top 5, top 10, Bryson DeChambeau, baby. Woo! Let's go. Loving this. It's the PGA Championship. We are flitting, flatting, jumping, rumping, doing all the stuff that we love to do over here on Back Nine Bets, whatever that all means. Let's dive to this guy. This is an interesting situation. We're going to bet Will Zalatoris for a top 5 at 12-1. Now, this number's drifting. I'm tempted to grab a 90 out there for Will Zalatoris. This number's drifted significantly. He was plus 375 for a top 10 in majors on Sunday night. Currently, Will Zalatoris for a top 10 in a majors plus 500. So that number's gone backwards. We're going to go to him for a top 5 because if he's playing well enough, I think he can thrive at this kind of a golf course. I know he's lost a bit of his distance, but he's definitely picked up significant accuracy. So we've still got the ability to thrive out of the thick rough with his long irons. He's always been good at that. And I think what we know about Will Zalatoris is that he thrives in these majors. Whether or not he's healthy, I feel like 12-1 for a top 5 is a very insignificant exposure for high reward. I'm not betting him finish top 20 to bet a unit to win a unit. We're betting a quarter, like a tenth of a unit to win 1.2 units. Yeah. The reason why is because Will Zalatoris, if you take a look at what he's been up to in majors since the last little while, this is my favorite sheet, by the way, the historical major finishes. It's so freaking handy. It gives me my most recent PGA Championships and then all the other chronologically ordered kind of majors. So you can see how these guys have been doing. Let's find Willie Z over here and take a look at his PGA Championship. So he's got nothing in 2023 because he was injured at the Masters, right? Remember, he withdrew. Now we see him show back up at the Masters and finish 9th. Then he kind of sucked it up a little bit at the at Quail, but it was towards the end. I think he shot like 80 on Sunday. I don't know if it was his back. I want to just double check quickly because he was playing well. I think he was like 1 under or 2 under through the first few rounds and then kind of just lost the plot. So we went 70, gained a stroke on the field. We went 70, gained another stroke on the field, and shot 74 in round 3, lost a stroke. And then in round 4, shot 80 and lost 7.8 strokes. So that is not ideal. What was the issue? It was like mainly the short game stuff. Do I have the vault? I have the vault open. Beautiful. We're going to just double check Will Zalatoris' stuff quickly. I want to just make sure that it wasn't like irons, it was putting. Because what's going to happen at a major, he's just going to take the pain meds, he's just going to eat it, and then just kind of Zalatoris, who's been ridiculous in majors. Take a look at this. At the PGA Championship, finished 2nd in 2022, 8th in 2021. We've got in his last starts in majors, 9th, 28th, 2nd, 6th, 2 miscuts, 8th, 2nd, and 6th. He's a major savage. He's a savage in these majors. At that kind of a price tag, the risk might be there. I'm okay taking that risk on with this kind of a bet. We're not betting him top 20. If we were trying to bet Will Zalatoris top 20, that's plus 230. You got to risk like half a unit to get your unit back. We're just trying to bet to win 1.2 units, so a tenth of a unit here. So we're hardly risking anything for somebody that can potentially do this if he's healthy. I pulled up this. I want to see that final round. Like what did he get up to in that final round? What did he get up to in that final round? I've not heard anyone mention Adam Scott anywhere. Strange considering recent form, top 40 at 6 previous majors from 7th. That's the thing. It's Adam Scott he's just going to give you that. He's going to give you a top 40 and that's that, dude. Like, unfortunately, Adam Scott's not going to give you high-end finishes in majors. It's just not what he does. I don't know if I did. I don't know if I put the most recent stuff in here either. I don't think I did. Okay, is what it is. We're going to keep on moving along here. So let's take a peek. Got 2 people in the model. That's always fun to see. Okay, so that's Will Zalatoris for you. If he's healthy, this bet is on like Donkey Kong. If not, it's 0.1 unit that we've thrown away. It is what it is. All good. We're going to keep screwing that vault, make it speed up a little bit for us, and go from there. Because my computer's freaking out on me again. Come on now. There we go. Okay. So Xander's next up. Let's chat about him. He's going to be a top 10 bet for us. He is going to be a top 10 bet because Xander Schauffele at plus 240, it's currently all the way down to plus 150 for a top 10. So that number got jumped a lot. But again, if you're going to this number at plus 150, I think we've got a big enough edge that it still would work. You can still win your unit back on Xander here. If you take a look at Xander, cool, we just had the entire. Let's go here. Plus 150 would still give us an edge, I believe. Yep, you've got your edge there still. So you can still bet that top 10 at plus 150. I have a Xander Schauffele top 20 in every single major. You want to see something crazy? You want to say something crazy? Let's pull up Xander's stuff here. Xander Schauffele in the last little while, and I'm just going to clear everybody and just pull up Xander now. This is so fun to see. Okay, so you're going to get a colored box if you have a top 10 over here. You're going to get no colored box if you don't have a top 10. So let's go back from 2024 at the Masters for Xander, where he finished 8th. So congratulations. That's the first bit of color we've seen. Going backwards now. Open Championship, 17th. US Open, 10th. PGA Championship, 18th. Masters, 10th. Open, 15th. 14th. 13th. Miscut. So we've currently got we've got 8 consecutive top 20 finishes for Xander in majors. He cracked his first top 10 at the Masters since the US Open in 2021. It's been that long. I guess he had a top 10, a 10th at the US Open as well. But nothing's been better than a 10th until he got his 8th place finish at Augusta. So we don't mind him. And you know what? Xander Schauffele is built for this golf course. He's got tons of distance off the tee. He's got so much accuracy with those long irons. If you take a look at his metrics, it's ridiculous. Look at this ball striking. Who's this? Bryson's the only one that's outstriking everybody right now. But Xander is sitting here 3rd in ball striking right now for 2024. Scotty Scheffler 2nd. Rory McIlroy 4th. So that's what you're getting from Xander. You're also getting short game that's ridiculous. What is this? That's his data golf rank. We don't need that, but it's 3rd or what? Data golf rank for Xander 2nd. So, good things coming for him. But the thing is, Xander Schauffele just cannot get the job done when you need it to happen. He just lays down. He just lays down. But anyway, let's take a look at what Xander gets up to in majors. Gains the 15th most strokes on approach. He gains the 11th most off the tee. Lots of good stuff there. But what we're really looking for is Xander's ability to just absolutely nuke it. On these longer golf courses, he's top 10 in the field in strokes gained off the tee. Absolutely delightful. He's going to just mash City. And what I really wanted to do is bring up his strokes gained from 200 yards and out. He is number 1 in the field over the last 12 months from that number. If we go over to my model, which you can find over at the description below, use code PGA for 30% off. We can pull up the scorecard and see, okay, what are we dealing with here today? We are looking for guys who can make sure that he checks these buckets over here. We've got 11 of 18. 11 of 18 shots coming from 175 and out. I'm predicting 6 shots coming from 200 and out. So you have to make sure your long irons are good. Xander is the best in the field at that. Top 10 bet. Let's go. Love Xander Schauffele over there. Let's see. Joanne just getting here. I roasted you early, Joanne, because you spelt my name wrong when you were giving me crap about the butterfish. But welcome to Back 9 Bets, baby. So this is what I'm trying to get to you guys. It's looking good for him. I mean, these long irons, we've got literally 60% of shots are going to be coming from 175 and out. That's an incredible amount of shots. That's a lot of shots from that range. So he's very good there. Xander Schauffele, plus 150, plus 240, top 10, whatever you can find. Hit that number. He's a top 10 beast. He's been doing it this year at a ridiculous clip. Top 10s for Xander in the last 12 months, 50% rate. I'm going to just pull up something for Xander his data golf profile. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking to see. This is one of the most ridiculous profiles you'll see on a person's data golf page. These green boxes are for top 25s. We're missing 1, 2, 3 of them in his last 25 starts. We're 22 for 25 in green boxes. He sucked it up at the Zozo and the Scottish and Pebble Beach. That's it. Those are the only 3 bad tournaments Xander Schauffele's had. In his last few, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top 8s in his last 8 starts. It's too good. It's too good for him. He's too good. So bet that freaking top 5, top 10 number for Xander. Sorry, top 10. Let's go. Let's go. So we've spoken about Will Zalatoris. We've spoken about Xander. Let's chat about somebody else. Another little flower, a little delicate baby. But he's our boy. Colin for a top 10 at plus 320. It's currently sitting at plus 250. But in majors, Colin Morikawa is finishing inside the top 10 47% of the time. He's finishing inside the top 10 in the last 12 months 25% of the time. And the thing is, like, these guys have got such high success rates that you almost don't want to even bet Colin for a top 20 because he's only doing it 59% of the time. That's only 12% more than what he's doing at top 10 way. So that edge is big. Even if you go to plus 250, you still got a boss-ass edge because you've just got it. You know, like there's more than enough edge there for you to kind of just enjoy a good Colin Morikawa major track record. We'll pull him up and show you. Like the last little while, Colin Morikawa has been scintillating. Colin Morikawa. So you can go and use this tool. This is available in the description below. Code PGA saves you 30% off. Colin Morikawa in the last few PGA Championships. 1st, 8th, 55th, 26th. In his last few majors. Pops up at Augusta for a 3rd place finish. Lost the plot at the Open. Finished 9th, like missed the cut. 14th, 26th, 10th. Missed the cut at the Open. For the guy that won the Open Championship in 2021, to have missed your next 2 cuts is not quite the champion golfer of the year caliber that we're looking for. Bit of a flash in the pan, if you ask me. But the Masters, the US Open, last month's Masters, we've got top 5 finishes in these things, guys. His short game's looking good. The long irons are struggling, but he's making it up with the short game. He's chipping and putting so well right now. It's kind of bizarre. Because if you take a look at what Colin Morikawa has typically been up to, you typically think of Colin Morikawa as a ball striker. He's 28th in ball striking. No. Colin Morikawa this year is 27th around the green. He's 41st in short game, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But then the fun part is if you take a look at Colin Morikawa's short game in majors, 24th and 26th, chipping and putting. His baselines are around the 100. So he's always been good in majors when he's chipping and putting. Now we're starting to see some really good chipping and putting from Colin. So if we can expect that from him, we're looking good. We're looking real good. I mean, the irons and the off the tee stuff obviously is going to be amazing because that's prehistoric stuff when Colin was still winning all these things. The iron play has struggled. I mean, it's his worst metric outside of his putter lately. And if you take a look at what actually Colin's been up to, let's just pull this up real quick. It's kind of been bizarre. He's been playing nicely, but he's also been playing well in round 1 and then kind of just falling off down the board. So we're going to take a look at Colin's stuff here. Look at this. He's been gaining sizably since the Masters. He's gained almost a stroke per round. Putting. Like Colin's putter is putting so well right now. He's hardly lost strokes around the green since the Rocket Mortgage Classic in July. His short game has become bulletproof. If you take a look at his career summary, you can see, look at, he's having one of the best short game years of his career by almost double. It's always been okay. And the putter, it's not necessarily the greatest thing in the world right now, but what you're looking at from an isolated situation over here, look at this gain that we've seen in the last 4 starts. Colin's putting nicely. His accuracy is through the roof. He's like 20% accuracy gained on the field at the Wells Fargo and the RBC Heritage. He doesn't have distance. He's substandard in distance. But when you have way more accuracy than you have distance off the tee, he's going to be hitting these fairways. So we can expect him to be smashing fairways. Yeah. Take a look at the iron play in all of these majors. Even regardless of his decline in long iron proximity, which we'll look at here shortly, look at this stuff. We've got really good iron play still in these majors. He just nuts up in these majors. He's just been doing great stuff. So Colin Morikawa for a top 10 at plus 320 seems like the way I want to live my life. Very limited exposure there. You only have to bet like a third of a unit to really get exposure for your unit back. I like Colin Morikawa in majors. 47% of the time, he is inside the top 10, baby. Ludwig with the knee injury, we're going to leave him alone a little bit. I'm seeing some wild, like John Rahm is like basically minus 120 against Ludwig. John Rahm. Incredible. So we're going to leave that alone. We're going to go to our next guy. We haven't bet Cam Young to win the tournament, but we're going to bet Cam Young to finish inside the top 10 at plus 425. Love that. It's currently plus 375. All good. I'd still go back to that. There's obviously more than enough edge to go off of there. Cam Young in regular season, last 12 months, 26% of the time he's finishing inside the top 10. That almost seems like we'd bet that even at plus 425. You'd have a small edge. But when you take your eyes over, and let's move this little box over here to major top 10s since Cam Young's been on the scene, we're doing it 45% of the time. And when we're doing a top 10, we're doing a top 20 at the same time, baby. Cam Young does not have more top 20s than he does top 10s in majors. Whenever it's a top 20, it's also a top 10. And that's 45% of the time. So plus 425 or 375 for a top 10 for Cam Young in a major, where distance is a prerequisite, where good long iron plays are a prerequisite. Let's go. If he can just avoid struggling with the short game and chipping himself out the tournament, Cam Young's going to be in business, baby. So we love what he's up to. He is doing it right now, and he's doing it in a big way. So we love Cam Young. He's been very profitable in majors. If we pull up, let's just pull up this thing. Major betting, top 10s. Let's do historical top 10s in majors for the last little while. The worst person, Justin Thomas. Who's the best? Scotty Scheffler, Will Zalatoris, Cameron Young. So that's why we're going there. Colin Morikawa would have been profitable. Will Zalatoris would have been profitable. Tommy Fleetwood is 5th in top 10s in majors. So make a note of that. What do we say about Tommy? I don't think I've bet him yet, but we make a note. Top 20 in majors, despite track in the top 10 market regularly, doesn't have that consistency in majors. Okay. Wow, that was some tough reading there from me from prior history, Byron there. But Cameron Young, let's pull up Cameron Young and chat about him a bit. We've already spoken about him to the small degree about the top 10, which I think I've made my case for quite sizably in the majors. When he has struggled at majors that he's missed the cut at Oak Hill, he lost 4 strokes putting. And I think, or he lost 4 strokes around the green or something. I just replied to Eric Patterson about it. He was gaining ball striking in the 2 missed cuts that he had, but just sucked it up around the green. So you just got to avoid the big implosions. The ball striking, the drive is always going to be there for him. At a golf course like this, he's going to be sending launch codes. Then what I want to get to is this situation over here. In majors, this could not be a bigger situation where we've got a matchup edge, so to speak. I've got Cam Young ranked 9th in my model. I've got Sam Burns ranked 45th. If we take a look at what Cam Young's done, obviously, 45% of the time inside the top 10. Sam Burns does not have a top 10 in majors. Sam Burns, this 8% for top 20s is a 20th place 2 years ago. Sam Burns has won 5 times on the PGA Tour. He's got 1 top 20, which is in majors, which was a 20th place finish. Would have been chopped if you didn't get tires paid in full. No top 10s, no top 5s. Cam Young has got 45% of his starts, of 11 of them. 5 of 11 have likely been inside the top 10. So at this price tag, I think it's minus 110. Let me double check because we're going to Cam Young over Sam Burns at FanDuel, I believe. And it's a minus 110 bet or minus 115 or something like that. I'm going to double check it real quick just to give you the correct number. I should have had it ready to go, but it's all good. Take a quick sip of some classic cola. By the way, these are Bud Light classic colas are one of my favorite things. Minus 115. So that's where we'll be going there. Minus 115 over Cam Young over Sam Burns. Boom chakalaka. The next top 10 Sam Burns has in the major will be his first. The next top 10 Cameron Young has in a major will be his 6th. They've played in about the same amount. To me, that's it's the way to go. It's just the way to go. Their top 40 rate, similar-ish. It's the closest of the bunch, but not anywhere. Like the top 20 numbers are just going to be far too good for Cam Young right now. So that's the situation. I understand Sam Burns is playing nicely, but he's always been playing nicely heading into a major and then just doesn't take care of business. He just don't got it. You don't got it, baby. You don't got it. All right. Moving along. Have we mentioned everybody through here? No, let's chat about this guy. All right. And you know what? It's only going to do him justice if we go to this beautiful historical major finishes tab over here. Let me add my banner back in again because we don't need to see all these tabs. I've shown you already. Because I want to let the people know. Code PGA is saving you 30% off. Use the code today in the description below to get your hands on this model, which you can use for yourself. I'll have it for every single major. You'll have it for every single major. I think it's less than $20 a month. It's $209 for the year. Unreal deal. Sepp Straka, right over here. Let's pull his ass up and take a quick peek at why we bet this guy ladder. Top 10, top 20, top 5. I don't know why I went upside down, inside out there, but that's where we're going. We are going Sepp Straka, top 5, 14-1. Sepp Straka, top 10, plus 650-1. Sepp Straka, top 20, plus 275. Let's go. Sepp Straka in the PGA Championship in 2023, 7th. Sepp Straka in the 2024 Masters, 16th. Sepp Straka at the 23 Open Championship, 2nd. So we've got in these last 4 majors, 3 top 20s, a 2nd and a 7th, including a 2nd and a 7th. 3 top 20s for Sepp Straka at the Masters, the Open, the PGA Championship. Incredible. Keith was telling us on the Rotoballer PGA show last night that Zoysia, Sepp Straka and Zoysia go together like Rory McIlroy and divorced wives. It's just how it is. They work well together. Sepp on the grass is the guy that you're looking for. The Zoysia fairways, the Zoysia fringes, he's got it. And he doesn't have the length that you're looking for from Seppi. You don't got that length. But tell you what, Sepp's got that accuracy, baby. And it's fun. We hit Sepp Straka to win the John Deere Classic. He almost broke the course record, and then he just ball in the water. But if you take a look at what Sepp's been up to entering the week, Players, 16th, Mr. Cut the Valspar. Now buckle your pants, folks. The Masters, 16th. RBC Heritage, 5th. Zurich, 11th. Wells Fargo, 8th. He's rattling off 5 top 20s in the last 6 starts. 4 of the last 5 have been stroke play games. Look at the irons. Look at the driver. The distance is lacking, but the accuracy is like Colin Morikawa-esque. 18% accuracy gained on the field at RBC Heritage. This guy's going to be slicing and dicing the grass blades of those Zoysia fairways like crazy. He's going to be hitting fairways like nuts. If there's an underdog prop for him out there, go grab the over fairways hit. I'm assuming it's probably 8.5. I bet you this guy hits more than 9. Probably double-digit fairways. The form, the major form, wow, it's looking good. And guess what? What you need for success to win a PGA Championship. What you need at the PGA Championship here. Since Keegan Bradley won in his debut in 2011 over here, we've had a winner. So your best finish in a major prior to winning the PGA Championship since Keegan won in 2011. In 2012, the best finish was first, second, 7th, 9th, first, 35th, first. Major winners win the PGA Championship. It's more than any other of the majors out there. If you take a look, I've got this out there for you. 56% of the prior winners on the PGA in majors, 56% of them win the PGA Championship in the last 25 years. That's more than anybody else. The second place number drops off a touch, but even then, second place finishes, 64% of them. If you've got a second or a first in a major, 64% of those guys have won the PGA Championship. Versus guys with like thirds, fourths, and fifths. You know, like the concentration of the sample here gets a little wishy-washy as you're going down, you know, into the 20th places. Like a 10th, a 20th being no different than a 9th at this golf course, you know, like that's so many more golfers to have to choose from. If I'm going to tell myself I've got a 65% chance of basically going over to my cheat sheet right here, looking up who's played in a major, and I've got a column over here that says top twos. Let's get rid of blanks, let's get rid of zeros, and find out who these guys are. And then what you can do is you go over here to PGA Championships, US Opens, you can see their strokes gained. But in the last 6 months, let's get rid of guys that are losing more than, we are just losing a stroke, I guess. Let's just say we aren't gaining more than half a stroke on the field. Bang. So there we have it. And I guess we've even got a few guys that aren't even part of the mix. Let's get rid of them. So these are the guys. These are guys that I would definitely consider. Let me even get myself out of the picture here so we can really take a good look at this. Okay. Let's go to 95. Nope. 90. Nope. How come I can't get Sepp in there? All right, whatever. The tangents we go on this show. By the way, the chat's got quiet. Let's use this thing. I'm going to hide this real quick. I'm going to pull up and I'm going to ask you a question. I will send you this model if you're not a premium subscriber already. So let's do a little quick roll call. I know this is not the stream, but you know what? It's back 9 bits. It's episode 98. It's happy holidays. Happy Valhalladays to you. We've got the Phoebe cam. She's not in the mood to lay there right now, so that's okay. But my question, let's see. Let's see if I can ask you a question here. I'm going to go with, since 2017, who has the most top 10s in majors? And I think I'm missing one or two, but since 2017, who has the most top 10s in majors in this field? Doesn't matter. They're in this field. Since 2017, who has the most top 10s in majors? Let's see. Send your names through. First name that comes up that's correct, that's based off my track record over here, I will send you the model. If you're not a premium subscriber. If you are, please still, send your comment through. We're looking for another way to make you a happy premium subscriber already. Our main man says, Joe says Cam Young. We'll see. We'll see. So Cam Young's off the board. We'll let this run through for a few more minutes. I'm going to take a quick sip here of my stuff. Who was I chatting about? Sep, right? So he's the cheapest guy. I'm looking at the screen right now. He's the only person with the top two who's gaining over half a stroke in the last 6 months in a major and gaining currently the half a stroke. All right. The caddy wins it, boys and girls. It is Rory McIlroy. So apologies to you. I know there's a probably a half a minute delay. So everybody coming in here, you can probably stop saying your stuff now. The answer is Rory. If we go top twos over here and we sort Z to A, that's top twos. We're looking for top 10. Z to A. The guy at the top is Rory McIlroy. Congratulations to the caddy. I think you're on Twitter, obviously, so I'll send it to you right there. Just send me a message so that it's in my inbox so I remember to do so. Adam Scott doesn't have a top two in the majors since. What happens if we take this filter away? Who shows up here? Select all. Oh, yeah. There's a whole lot more guys. You see, this is the thing. So let's go top fives. You know what? We kind of lost the track again here, but where's Adam Scott? There he is. So he's in the mix. Adam Scott doesn't have a top two. He's got a third place finish sometime. No top twos. He's obviously gaining over half a stroke so far this year. 0.82 to be exact. So that's what's going on with Adam. Not the answer. Brooks right behind him, obviously. So that's right there. We've got also Scotty. I guess Scotty has got to 10, but he's only played in 16 of them. So his kind of track record is probably more elite if you're looking at an efficiency. Sorry, my brother. I was filtering on the top two. We were speaking about the top 10. I think I asked the question about who's had the most top 10s. My bad. I'm not even drinking Keystones tonight. But these are names. These are the names, guys. So let's take a look at them. Let's filter by my power rating over here, by rating by start. So that's going to help Scotty out a lot, quite significantly. So we go Z to A, bing, bing, bing. Brooks Koepka, 3.75 as my score. Let me get my picture in here again. How did I do that the last time? Oh, I've zoomed in more and I've lost the thing. There we go. Okay. So we're looking at guys. Look at this. Here's the rating by start. So this is taking their power rating, their number of starts, and just kind of giving us a per basis here. Brooks Koepka, Scotty Scheffler, Will Zalatoris, Colin Morikawa, Rory McIlroy are my top 5. Xander, not quite getting there because of his lack of, wins. Will Zalatoris has got 3 second place finishes. That's incredible. So, and he's only done 11 major starts. So this is why I'm so besotted about him. If he's injured, we're in trouble. If he's not, the books are in trouble. DraftKings is in trouble. We are going to town on this guy. His price is ridiculous. The ownership's going to be ridiculously low too because of his outright market price is reflecting the public sentiment on him. He's 90-1. That's ridiculous. He has to be injured. I can't tell you what else would cause it to do that. But anyway, so that's just the fun little stuff you can see over here. Congratulations to the caddy. I will send you the model once I'm done over here. Back to your regular paid programming for the day. So, yeah, let's actually take a quick peek at these guys. This is an interesting way to kind of look at it. Let's take a look at just do a quick little peek at some guys that are sneaky options. So Sepp Straka, definitely sneaky. We've spoken about him. He's been playing nicely. His rating per start is not terrible. Shane Lowry obviously won the Open a while ago. Doesn't have a second place, a third, a fourth, and an eighth. Got 5 additional top 20s. Hideki Matsuyama, a first, a fourth, and 8 top 20s. If he's not injured, he's if you are looking for a bet on him, a top 20 bet for Hideki Matsuyama. Jordan Spieth, a win, a second, 2 thirds, and a fourth since 2017. Cameron Young got a second and a third, with a 7th, an 8th, and a 9th as well in only 11 starts. Ridiculous stuff. We've spoken about all this stuff. These are the guys we like. So Sepp and Shane are 2 guys that really grade out well for me. I'll be looking at some Will Zalatoris as well. Victor Hovland, we can chat about, but I don't know. Cool stuff, Joan. I'll see you over at Sweet Spot. Let's catch you there. I'll also be doing another show later tonight, so I don't know how much I'll be over there for, but we'll be there for a touch. Sweet Spot DFS. Go type that into YouTube. That's going to be your next show to go to. Spend an hour there, then come over to Sports Gambling Podcast, where I'll be chatting with Steve Shermer of that show for the PGA Championship over there. So let's check out some more names, some more bets. We've got the Sepp Straka top 5. We've got the Sepp Straka top 10. We've got the Sepp Straka top 20. 12-1. 14-1, 6.5-1, and plus 275. That's that for you. Cam Young. Let's get into our next set of dudes. Minwoo Lee, top 30. This is a fun, simple little situation here. If you take a look at Minwoo Lee's track record, it's rather appealing. I had to make a special kind of calculation to get a top 30 bet in here because we don't have top 40, we don't have a top 30. We got top 20, top 30. But I can assure you that the 60% top 40 rate is correct. From what I understand, what I've done some research, we've got 6 of his last 9 majors. He's finished T30 or better. It's plus 137 over at Bet365 for a top 30 for Siwoo Kim. If we pull up his handy-dandy situation over here, we can take a look at his historical stuff. Historical finishes for Minwoo Lee. Clear all. I'm ultra zoomed in. Okay. Minwoo Lee, 22nd at the Masters, 41st at the Open, 5th at the US Open, 18th at the PGA Championship, missed the cut at the Masters last year. 21st at the Open, 27th at the US Open, missed the cut at the PGA Championship, 14th at the Masters. So it's been really, really impressive from Minwoo in the last little while. He's got tons of distance off the tee, so that's going to help him in the stick rough. He needs distance, and he's very sharp around the greens. If you take a look at what he's been up to, Minwoo Lee's best, I think he's been really, really impressive. We've got strokes gained here for, I think, US Open and PGA Championships. Here we go. So if you're looking for strokes gain metrics for US Opens and PGA Championships, it's right in the model here as well. If we pull up Minwoo Lee, so we go strokes gained off the tee. We don't even have to scroll that far to find. Let's just pull him up here. I'm going to change this view to freeze top 2 rows. Boom. And I'm going to scroll, and then there's Minwoo. He's gaining 0.77 strokes off the tee in his 14 rounds of golf in US Opens and PGA Championships. He's playing incredible golf right now in these majors. His off the tee thing is a free square. You're gaining 3/4 of a stroke. You're getting as many strokes off the tee as Scotty Scheffler, as Taylor Pendrith, as Bryson DeChambeau, Cameron Young, all that stuff. That's good to see. The approach play, we know he's terrible at that. But you're still gaining 1.3 strokes per round with a short game. So 2 strokes per round off the tee and short game in his 14 rounds of golf in US Opens and PGA Championships. So give us a T30, which he's done 6 of the last 9 times. Technically, 6 of the last 8 if you kind of want to cut off at a year over year, the Open Championship. We've got, I guess there's 9. So yeah, let's see what he can do. Plus money for a top 30. This guy's been doing it on repeat for the most part. So we'll see what he can do at a golf course that really suits his style. Another guy we're going to be popping up here is Wyndham Clark for 40-1. I've got a 31-1 out there right now. The number's drifting. If you take a look at what his current odds out there are right now, the outright market at Bet365 is got a Wyndham Clark at 40-1. That's with each ways. If you go like enhanced market, I think there's 45s out there. Enhanced win for Wyndham Clark at Bet365 is 46-1. That's 50% extra what I've bet it at right now. So I don't know what's going on with that market. It's going backwards as well. It's perplexing. I don't understand it. It is what it is. So we're going to be looking at Wyndham Clark at 30-1, 40-1, 46-1, wherever you can find it. Go grab it. Wyndham Clark has won so this is the thing. If we take a look at the cheat sheet and filter on guys that have finished first or second in a major and are gaining over half a stroke on the field, Wyndham Clark pops that box. He's got nothing better than a first place finish. That's his only top 20 is a first at the US Open. It's unbelievable. You don't really see stuff like that. Ludwig's got that second, same situation. But Wyndham Clark, man, off the tee, gaining over half a stroke. He putts nicely in his PGAs and US Open. So he's obviously putts nicely at the US Open. We'll expect this guy to be doing it, man. He's won at Quail, which is a comp course. We've seen him play well at Bay Hill, which is another kind of element of golf that gets tested at Valhalla between Quail, Murfield, Riviera, Genesis. I mean, that's the same thing. Bay Hill, Torrey Pines. These are all these thick cabbage patch, long-ass golf courses. That's what you're looking for. Success. That's what Wyndham Clark has. He's got that success. The price is nuts. He's a major champion that checks our box. He's one of the guys that broke the rule, actually. If you go over to this like historical major, it's pretty cool to see. The major track record for him is pretty cool. Like you can see you can find Wyndham Clark's, where the heck is this thing now? You can see his stuff. He has Wyndham Clark right here. At the US Open, hardly anyone's not finished better than 10th in a major before that. There's been a few 14th, a 20th here and there, but for the most part, but there's a lot more yellow here. You see, like you can have finished 3rd, 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th, a lot more at the US Open than the PGA Championship. I don't know if that's got to do with it being the third one after the PGA, if people just kind of get rolling or what, but it's far less sticky. The PGA Championship is very freaking sticky, in my opinion. Maybe there's a new winner this week. We haven't seen it for a while. So Wyndham Clark checks that box for us, folks. He checks that freaking box, and that price number is too good. It's too good to be true. Miles, you're behind on the show. Victor, unless you're asking about Victor, we've already had our competition giveaway there. So that's Wyndham Clark for you. We've spoken about Minwoo Lee. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Let's move along. Steven freaking Jaeger, top 40 at plus 125. If you take a look at Steven Jaeger's situation, it's not been like the best major track record ever, but he's actually been rather stellar in these kind of venues, from what I recall researching a while ago. US Open in 2020, 34th. PGA Championship, he finished 50th. Those are the only two big boy tournaments, majors he's played in prior to missing the cut at the Masters last week or last month. I think the PGA Championship will be a bit of a better test for him. He's got tons of distance off the tee. And if you take a look at Steven Jaeger's profile, out of the rough, it's incredible. And we're going to be, what are we going to be doing this week? Hacking it out the rough. So we've got a top 40 apparently for Jaeger. That doesn't quite make sense because, oh yeah, we do. We have it for him. So that's good to see. But I'm going to show you Steven Jaeger's strokes gained out the rough from 150 and out. Strokes gained is 20th in this field. That's delightful to see. In the majors he's played in, he's gained tons and tons of strokes around the green. That's what he does. He's putted quite nicely in the majors too. Guess he putts nicely on bent grass as well. So we're going to see all of that from Jaeger. We're going to see this green regulation rate, which is 13th in the field, 10th in the field in poor shot avoidance out of the rough. He's very good in that department. So it's been good to see Steven Jaeger take care of that game. And now we got all this distance. It's good to see from Steven Jaeger. Let's see what he can do. 20th in the field in strokes gained off the tee in 2024 and 19th around the green. So we got to just figure out the irons a touch, but I feel like his game translates quite nicely. Think about where he played nicely at Torrey Pines, even Houston. That's a long-ass golf course with a decent amount of long irons coming in. You got to be a good driver of the golf ball there, get up and down a lot more than you need to. So Steven Jaeger can do that. Top 40, plus 125, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Thoughts on Tony Finau? I'll get into it here shortly. I've got one more bet to make and tell you guys about, and then we're out of here. I'll do a bit of a P. Rogers T40 plus 187. Grabbed it at plus 220. It was my Bubble-Us bet on the Fantasy Golf Degenerate show, which I parlayed with Xander Schauffele and Will Zalatoris for top 40s, along with P-Rod. Patrick Rogers, folks. Marvelous Mr. Rogers. And the thing is, I don't think I have his track record in here because it's weird. It's from a while ago. He hasn't played in the Masters or the Open Championship. It's just been US Opens. So showing you over here, I guess I can pull up my own one. Rogers. If you take a look at Patrick Rogers' situation over here, Patrick Rogers in last year's PGA Championship finished 29th. Then at the US Open, finished 32nd. The prior year's US Open finished 31st. The prior year's US Open finished 31st. In 2018 at the US Open, he finished 41st. So this is what Patrick Rogers does. He's played in these PGA Championships and these US Opens, and he's got 5 top 32s in his last 5. We've got 5 of 6 if you're going back to 2018 when he finished 41st. He just seems to find his happy place in the last 5 US Opens or PGA Championships. Patrick Rogers has finished 29th, 31st, or 32nd. That's just bizarre. Whether or not that continues this week, I don't know. But this is frustrating. The fact that I'm trying to zoom in and it zooms in the entire. This is why I hate Google Sheets. I'm an Excel guy, but I can't send you an Excel sheet. Send you a Google Sheet. And if you take a look at what Patrick Rogers has been up to, Arnold Palmer, T25. Farmers Insurance, T9. Mexico Open, T6. Those are 3 very long golf courses. What? Surprise, surprise. T29 for Patrick Rogers at the Wells Fargo. Isn't that a primer? So maybe you could almost bet Patrick Rogers T30, but a T40 seems like it will have covered all 5 of his last US Open and PGA Championships. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that's the betting card. Let's see. I think I have it pulled up here. Let me just pull it up. So our betting card. Before I dive into some Tony Finau stuff. Our betting card is, why is it all the way over to the side there like that? There we go. I guess it's just going to do its thing. All right. So for the top 5s, Brooks Koepka, plus 333. Sahith Theegala, 10-1. Will Zalatoris, 12-1. Sepp Straka, 14-1. And Bryson, the first leg of 2, 6-1 for a top 5. We're also going to do Bryson plus 320 for a top 10. Then for our top 10 guys, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, Cameron Young, and the second of 3 legs for Sepp Straka at plus 270, at plus 650 for Sepp. All the other guys hanging around their plus 240, plus 425 range. Sepp Straka is the only person we bet top 20 at plus 275. Minwoo Lee is the only person we bet top 30 at 137, at plus 137. Steven Yeager and Patrick Rogers for top 40s to round it out. So that's our betting card. This is the Breaking 100 screenshot that I use. It's there. Now I'm going to pull up another screenshot, or maybe I'll just put it up here real quick. We've got the Farewell Fiver, and it's a 5-bagger of 3 balls, $5 into $250, 50 to 1 for 5 3-balls to start tomorrow's round. Let me take a quick grab of it and show you. It's delightful, folks. It is beautiful. And I think it's going to hit. I really do. Yeah, she is in all her glory. Okay. So, the first leg, it's Sepp Straka, baby, versus Takumi Tanaya and Nick Taylor. To me, it's basically Sepp Straka versus Nick Taylor plus 115. Sepp Straka's playing great. Nick Taylor, you never know what you're going to get from the guy. Colin Morikawa versus Phil Mickelson and Matthew Fitzpatrick in round 1, plus 110. The only person I'm really freaking out about is Fitz. And Fitz is usually a slow starter. Colin Morikawa, usually a very fast starter. His best splits are his round 1 metrics. Bryson DeChambeau versus Tommy Fleetwood and Akshay Bhatia. Bryson, the softer this golf course is going to be, the quicker they can get on this course with Bryson looking to pounce on the soft conditions. I'm very bullish on Bryson. Tommy Fleetwood's typically a slow starter. Akshay Bhatia is in his... I don't know what to make of him. I think Bryson should take Akshay in a matchup in round 1 at this kind of a golf course. It's a major championship. Akshay played nicely at the Masters, I think, but I like Bryson over Akshay and Tommy. Then our 4th leg is Benny Arn versus Alexander Bjork and Eric Cole at plus 100. Benny Arn's been amazing in round 1. He's got tons of distance off the tee. Bjork and Cole are like polar opposites to what Benny Arn does. I actually really fancy this as like just a straight up matchup as well. And then Keith Mitchell versus Thorbjorn Olesen and Brendan Todd. Olesen hasn't been doing great things lately, nothing inspiring. Brendan Todd around a 7,600-yard golf course likely shouldn't get beaten by Keith Mitchell, who, by the way, if you go over to the freaking model that I pulled up over here for you earlier, strokes gained in these big tournaments, US Opens and PGA Championships, strokes gained off the tee, Keith Mitchell's number 1. So we're going to have that like kind of free square to get off of first base there with Keith. He just needs to avoid losing tons of strokes from then on out, which he's done in a big way at these majors. So that's the thing we like about Keith. He's also very, very impressive when it comes to round 1 scoring. So that's the situation, folks. Keith Mitchell, Benny Arn, Bryson DeChambeau, Colin Morikawa, and Sepp Straka to take us to the freaking promised land. That's 51 to 1, plus 5101. Woo! Let's go. Can I get an amen, baby? So, yeah, that's where we go in over here. A 5-legger. I popped in Keith as the final leg. It went from 20 to 1 to 50 to 1. If Keith is the reason this thing loses, I'll be mad. I'm going to be so pissy. But love this bet. We'll see what we can get up to. It's $5 to win 250. That's where we're going. I think we got a shot. Let's pull up Tony Finau for my main man. I think who was it asking over there for us? Was it Miles? Thoughts on Finau? Cool. I'm scrolling up and down here, Miles, and I don't see a Tony Finau in our filter. Because why? Tony Finau don't got no second place finishes. He's got all them tooth, but no toothbrush, mama. Okie dokie. Let's clear this out. Select all. Go. Tony Finau should show up now. I think he's got a third, I think. I don't even know how to use this. Clear freaking Tony. Okay. Tony Finau. Yeah, he's got a third, a fourth, and 2/5. No second, obviously no win. He's got 4 top 5s, a total of 8 top 10s, and 9 top 20s in 25 major starts. Let's take a look at his historical situation. It's not been good. This is the thing this is actually where we should have started. So, not a lot of color. The first time you see any color is 2021, where he finished 8th at the PGA Championship, 15th at the Open Championship in 2021. After that, nothing better than a 26th place finish at the Masters in 2023 in the last 9 majors. So to me, even though Tony Finau is one of the best iron players in the world, it's not good. Because if we pull up Tony Finau, and I'll just pull up bad putting. He should show up here quite shortly. There he is. So Tony Finau, despite what he does regularly, he doesn't translate his ball striking or his iron play to majors. I do think with the distance he's got at this golf course, I mean, it's going to be tough to kind of leave alone, surely, right? Like, it's going to be very difficult. Like, he's going to dismantle this place from tee to green, surely, but the putter in majors has been bad. Recently, it's been bad. It's not been good. Like you can go scroll over to Tony Finau stuff over here in PGA Championships. But the last 12 months, we're losing half a stroke on the greens, 1.5 strokes gaining ball striking. Like, it's incredibly frustrating stuff. So I'm doing backup trebs on the 5-man parlay. Ooh, okay. That's also not the worst thing. I've often thought about just kind of betting $1 on the actual bet and then just rolling $1 on everything else from there. Because I usually get 3 or 4, 2 or 4, and they're all plus money bets. So over the long run, I'm assuming they've been profitable. I think I did have a few where I've gone 1 for 3, but we've also hit this thing twice since the RSM. So we're due for another one. The last time was the Genesis with Adam Scott. So we are a fancy bunch of people over here. So that's that, folks. The Phoebe chair, the Cam, she ain't been in the chair the whole time around. That's the PGA Championship Back 9 Bets, episode 98. Brought to you by Rotorball.com. Happy Valhalla days, my friends. Happy Valhalla days to you guys. May your week be amazing. May your bets roll through like a bulldozer. Let's have a good week. It's Valhalla. It's Kentucky. We're having a good old time. So let's cash these bets. Wyndham Clark, 40-1, 31-1. Sahith Theegala, 75-1. Did we even speak about Sahith? We didn't. Back to the lab. Back to the lab. Okay. Sahith Theegala. Sahith Theegala. So the thing about Sahith is he's got that top 10. He does have a T9. Ideally, I'd want the T2, but that's why we'll be betting him top 5 at 10-1. I can't believe we haven't spoken about him. In his last 12 months, he's finishing inside the top 10 a quarter of the time. A quarter of the time. 1 in every 4 starts, Sahith Theegala in the last 25 starts is finishing top 10. Ball striking. Off the tee, he's 15th in the field. Strokes gained off the tee. Sahith Theegala. 9th in putting. So we've got all of this good stuff. He thrives on these hard golf courses. He's got decent distance, off the tee, top 40, whatever. But he's also accurate now as well. The accuracy is from last year, by the way. It's really improved. I want to show you this, though. Look at the strokes gained from 200 and out. Look at the good shot rates. Look at all that stuff. Good shots out the rough. Good shots from 200 plus. We're going to see so much of that this week. You have to have that. And Sahith does. 16th in strokes gained from that distance. 10th in good shot rates. 14th in proximities. And then 15th in rough proximity from 150 and out. Like out of the rough, you're going to be in there. You got to be good. He's good. He's good out the rough from far. He's good out the fairway from even further. So that's good to see from Sahith. 75-1. We've got that T9 at the Masters in his debut, I think. That's his only top 10 finish in the majors. But I think at 75, I can kind of get away with it a little bit. And I'm not bet the 75. There's 110-1 with 3 places out there at my each way thing, which I would have gone to. But if you just take a look at Sahith Theegala's market that we kind of looking to bet him in, his top 5 market, let me see if I can find, is it in here somewhere? We're going to see, oh boy, a whole bunch of random stuff showing up. Yeah, but it's the only market he's profitable. Yeah. So his T5 market has won you $78 in the last 12 months. The rest of his markets, T10, T20, would have lost you $16 and $62. But he's not been terrible. The top 5 markets where it's at for him. So let's see what he can do. I'm hopeful for him. He's due. He's been close. He's got so many second place finishes, man. So many second place finishes. Look at this. Look at the situation Sahith Theegala has found himself in the last. Wow. Look at the situation he's found himself in. Second at the RBC. The fun part about all of this stuff is the fact that I had Sahith to win the RBC Heritage. Scotty won that. I had Wyndham Clark and Will Zalatoris to win the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Wyndham Clark finished second. Scotty won that. I had Sahith to win the Waste Management Phoenix Open. He was the only person to be inside the top 5 after the bad weather wave. And then at the Century, he lost to Chris Kirk, where we had him as well. Like, it's been a brutal year of runner-ups for me this year. Like, ay caramba. And he has that T9 you're speaking about at the Masters. We haven't really seen much from him since, but, we can expect that driver to kind of work its way through, and that iron play at the Open Championship was just a complete outlier. So that's the situation. Let's go, guys. Let's go. So it's the Masters last week. It is PGA Championship now. Not last week, last month. Code PGA, 30% off. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, please. I beg and beg and beg. We're close. I'm uploading enough hours of content that's viewed now. And I just need to get to 500 subscribers before I can start monetizing this whole show. And when I say monetizing, I'm not going to take your money. I am, because you can give me donations and you can spoil me for providing you with fun stuff. You don't have to, but if you do, that's going to go back to the show. I'm going to be doing giveaways. I'll be doing fun stuff. I'm going to start getting merch. I'm going to start just doing this stuff, so it's going to be fun. We're going to make it a good time. It's going to be an awesome time to hang out here on Back 9 Bets. So till then, folks, I'll be over at Sports Gambling Podcast here in 30 minutes, sorry. I'll be jumping over to Sweet Spot DFS here for the next little bit. But till then, let's hit it far. Let's hit it straight. Let's hit it on the greens and in the hole. That's all we're looking for from our golfers this week. Whoever can do that in the least amount of times, we're going to have a winner. It's going to be Brooks. It's going to be Wyndham. It's going to be Sahith. And it's going to be Bryson. The Beefcake Boys. The Beefy Boys. Love it. PGA Championship. Let's have a week. Catch you guys later.